Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to part 9 of our tutorial series on Total War 3 Kingdoms featuring Cao Cao. And today we're going to be doing a pretty grand battle and continue our battle tutorials as we are set off to fight 2 armies and a garrison here in Huainan's livestock farm. In our last tutorial part, we talked about recruitment, we talked about mustering, and we're about to go into a fight with this new army that we set up with 2 of the Xiahou brothers and Cao Cao. But before we fight, we're going to do a little bit of manipulating the army. Remember how 2 parts ago, when we put Xiahou Dun at the end of turn 1 as our commanding general, we did it because he had the reach skill and that gave us more movement. Well, now we are here and we don't need this extra movement. So we can shift Cao Cao back because Cao Cao has great commanding bonuses. As a commander, he will give our army formations that's not available on Xiahou Dun, which is only good kind of on the field. More movement, less attrition, and more replenishment. These are all things that are not going to affect the actual battle. These are all things that's going to dictate how efficient our army is on the campaign map. Whereas Cao Cao, in terms of his bonus, will give us 3 formations to use in battle. And Spear Wall is definitely useful since we do have some Spear Guards in this army. So because of that, I want him to go back to be a commander. And I can just select him, make him commander. And we're still here. And that's a very neat trick you can do if you want to utilize most of your movement right before you enter battle. Switch to the commanding general to a commander in case your army doesn't have a strategist, because the strategist can unlock formations based on their rank as long as they're in your army. They don't have to be the commanding general. Whereas the commander class needs to be the commanding general to give off their formations, which are also unlocked by rank. Currently Cao Cao's rank 3, so we actually don't have access to all the formations. We have access to the 1st and 2nd tier. So loose is 1st tier, 2nd tier is shield wall and spear wall, but that's good enough for us as we do have only some spear units here. So let's pop into this fight. And here we are once again in a pre-loading siege screen. And much like other options, we can see start battle, delegate, starve out, demand surrender, which we can try. He's probably not going to say yes considering AI knows he's stronger than us. And if we delegate this, we'll get a decisive defeat, which is not what we want to see. So we are 287 men up against about 1,600, a little less than 1,600. And that includes the army inside the livestock farm, the garrison of the livestock farm, and Xun You's reinforcement army. He has resiliency, which is very useful information because I do want to capture him. As you can see, he is a unique character with his own armor. He has an item, and he's just a great character overall. Now, we don't know his traits, and we probably don't want to wound him, so we probably don't want to kill him on the battlefield. So ideally, we want him to rout. This character here, we can take a look at Huang Wan, who is also a Han general during this period. He is historical, but unfortunately in the game, he is just a generic character with mediator. Now we can't hover and see this because we don't really know him. We haven't fought him. After we do one battle with him, we can see all the details here, but it's not going to matter. We know that he's generic just based on his look, and mediator is a very common one. I've seen it many times, so I know. And this pretty much combined with the fact that he's level 1 means he doesn't have any resiliency, and if we do kill him, as you can see, no resiliency symbol here, he will die. And I'm okay with his death because I'm not that interested in him. So we're going to take this army on. The map will be the same exact map we fought at the livestock farm in Chen, because we mentioned livestock farm are the same layout. So with that said, let's go in and see how we can defeat this massive army that is around 6 times, more than 6 times our size. So wish us luck. Alrighty, we're loaded up into the battle. Very familiar map, except for its autumn setting because the leaves are turning red and the season has changed. The enemy are going to deploy here, but you see this new symbol here, Reinforcement Deployment Zone. It's always at the edge of the map, in the direction where the army was on the campaign map. Because Xun You's army was generally in this direction, he will come from here. There are times where the reinforcement army could be behind you, and he could be sandwiching your army in between, but in this case we're fighting in the same direction and they'll just be coming up behind. They will spawn at the beginning of battle over here as they slowly filter into the map, and they'll try to group up with their main army, which could be anywhere inside the deployment zone. We are going to talk about how to win this one, and it's going to be a combination of our first 2 battles. We'll still heavily use our generals, because this is romance mode after all, and because we're heavily outnumbered, so we need as much help as we can get. And we'll combine that with some help from our units, which we will definitely utilize because we need them in this battle too. And we're also going to be trying to capture a general at the same time, so we're going to have our hands full. And the strategy we're going to use is we're going to pull our units pretty far away from the main fight. We will hide them in terrains. So in this case, I'm going to utilize this group of trees here to hide our units. And what I mean by hiding is if you place your units inside forests, you see this eye symbol pop over them? It says hidden. That way, enemies cannot see your troops unless they get close to them inside the forest. That's a great way to hide your forces from the AI. And we can do that with all our units. And that way the enemy do not know where we are. There's not really a lot of benefits to hide completely from the enemy. I'll talk about vision once we have a siege defense battle, because that's where it's most relevant. But in this case, if the enemy do not see any of our units, that's if we hide the generals here too, what would happen is the AI would automatically know where your armies are. You can't cheat the AI as a defender just by hiding for 40 minutes, because they will never find you if they don't actually know where you are. If all your units are hidden, they will just know where you are, considering a little bit of cheating from the AI. Now, what if we have one unit in the open and the rest hidden? Then the AI will respect the fact that they don't know where you are because you're trying to hide, and they will chase after your one unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our generals as our one unit and have them attract certain enemy forces to this trap so we can kill them. And the one in particular that I'm thinking about is the enemy cavalry unit. If you guys recall, there is one melee cavalry within the enemy army composition. The rest are all spear units and archers. So it's rather easy to kill those, but the cavalry we mentioned are really strong general killers. So in this case, we have 2 options. We can take some damage, use our 3 generals to overpower the single unit of melee cavalry, because 3 of them combined is more than enough to take down 30 units of basic cavalry. And just take some damage, kill them off, then we'll kite around, kill off the range before engaging, or we can try to draw the cavalry into a trap here. So those are all options. We'll explore all of them, see which one's feasible. Sometimes you make a plan and the AI don't work with you, so that's definitely possible. This is the formation that we unlock. The shield wall here for spears. And what this does is it will take you 3 seconds to form up. If I click it during battle, the army need to get ready for it, but here we're in deployment, so we can set them in this formation already. You cannot run in this formation, as you can see. You can still walk and move slowly. It gives them something called charge reflector, which means they will reflect the charge damage back on the enemy unit. That way, if we can lead the cavalry unit into the forest, have them run into our spear wall, we can just wipe those units out. So that could be a goal. In addition to that bonus, they also gain 10% extra melee evasion from their shield, 15% range block chance, and also 700% charge resistance. Now, why do we get so many bonus? Well, take a look. We'll take a look at our 2 units, one in formation, one in not. This is a formation unit. Let's unpop it. This is what they're doing normally. In the formation, they're grouped up. The shield on the front are braced down, spears out at the ready, everyone's stacked together. And if enemy archers shoot, the back shield will lift up and will be more protected from range. Makes sense. There's other formations like loose. This helps you reduce the chance of getting hit by enemy arrows, although I would argue this is probably better if you have it. If you don't have it, loose is the best you can do, especially for charging cavalry. This keeps them safe from archers. So those are the formations we have, and we'll try to utilize them. Let's pop them into shield wall because we are in deployment and we can afford to do this. I'm gonna group these guys together and we're gonna start battle. You see that they are deployed here, and that's the unit in question. We want to wipe this out. We also want to wipe out the archers, and if possible, I want to kill him. Because if we kill the commanding general, all his retinues will suffer a loss of morale because their general is dead. So first thing first, we're going to try to lure this cavalry over. I might need to change the angle of our units, as the way they deployed could make it difficult for us to get them. We're going to move these guys back slowly so they stay in the trees. And I'm just going to try to get that cavalry unit interested in us. And the unit that I'm going to use is Cao Cao. As we can see, the speed is highest on him, 118. This has 95. We'll outrun it when we need to. If I just get close enough, he'll become interested. The AI like to use the cavalry to kill generals because it's efficient that way. Alright, he took the bait. I don't know how far he will chase. Sometimes they just chase a little bit and they go back. We might just have to bait him again. If anything, we want to pull him as far from the spear as possible. Maybe we'll have them nearby. The solution might be just to overpower them. I can't imagine them charging all the way over there. They could though. Once they group together with their reinforcement and they feel strong enough, they could just be marching towards us even though they're on defense. But most likely, because they're on defense, they'll just use the clock and not really make an attempt to march on us, especially since they can't see us. Let's see if they keep moving forward or they're just adjusting to the fact Cao Cao is standing here with the generals. Alright, so when they're not really moving and they're like this, you want to take the same approach we did last time. We want to approach them from different angles. That will confuse the enemy formation. If we put our army here, they'll try to brace everything towards us. If we split our directions, the AI will deploy really weird and there's a chance we could pick off some ranged units. The minimum that our general needs to do here is A, destroy this unit, and we have our chance here as they're going over Xiaohodun. Alright, we're just going to overpower with our 3 generals. We have abilities for the first time we can showcase. But once we get into a fight, Cao Cao can activate his ability, which will give us melee evasion, but right now we don't even need it because they're not fighting us, they're running. And you see they're routing already. It took a lot of damage from us hitting them. And they didn't actually hit back. Oh, they changed their mind. They're kind of shifting in and out of trying to rout or not. Alright, they're hitting back. We're going to use this. Gives everyone near us 75 meter range, 30 seconds of 100% extra melee evasion, which will make us dodge. He has a speed boost, which is not relevant. Okay, we routed it. We did our job. I don't have to chase that unit. Because remember, this is a garrison fight, and that's one of the unit in the garrison, which means it will be automatically wiped. And as long as it's white flagged, it means it won't come back. So we essentially killed that without wasting any health. Next up are attempts to kill these archers. Now there's really no threat. We can outrun anything, so we will never really get in trouble. We just have to make sure we don't charge into anything incorrectly. And that could be a hidden spear unit in the trees. So be very careful here, as we don't know if there's a spear unit here. We don't want to just make a, you see, they're filtering out. We want to just spread our army out, force the AI to make some tough decisions with how to place their spear unit to protect their range units. And if I did my math correctly, there should be 3 spear from the garrison. Oh, I don't remember how many spear Bangwan had in his retinue, or else I could check and know if any are hiding in the trees or not. But I see an opening here. So we don't want to click it right away, then everyone will react. Pull them closer. This is a very patient game. I like to describe this as sharks against a school of fish, because we are definitely the sharks here. And we're just circling until someone runs away from the pack. And then once they fall away from the pack, we send in the sharks and chase them away from the pack, and then they will slowly die off, and we'll repeat. Now, I did say we were going to use our units, but since we killed the cavalry already, I think the generals deserve some extra experience. Though we do run into an issue where we could run out of time killing this many units with 3 generals, so we're not going to chase excessively. Once we rout them, we will stop chasing. This is not routing yet. We need them shattered. Oh, we gotta be very careful when they go into those spears, because they could accidentally hit a brace and lose their cavalry, lose their horse, and that's gonna kill us. He's still routing, but he might bounce back. If he bounces back, it's okay. We'll just regroup. They have too many spears in this case, so we gotta try to kill off some of these spears. It'll be easier if we kill off all the range first. That way we can actually use our units. And I need to go back into circle mode here. Alright, he is isolated and definitely not braced. He's definitely not braced in our direction. And we can use our ability again, the cooldowns back. We do have one smash ability here. We'll try to use it. He will swipe, hopefully now, like that. Okay. It's not shattered yet. We can try to chase as long as we don't bump into anything else. And we got it. Now we're just gonna not waste energy or time, and we're gonna reset here as we're gonna send them in 3 different directions again, as we will see if we get any single takers to fall away from the pack. Give them some time. They'll decide what to do. And you see we got a taker here. And since it's not braced in the right direction, we just go in on them. We gotta be very careful about the other ones coming in. Just don't be too greedy. If you get a couple good charges, just reset. Getting dismounted is the last thing we want. And if more people are coming, we just back off. We have speed. Patience is key here. Same thing. They're charging at 1. Nope, you see how they reacted to that click? Once you click them, they react quite rapidly. I actually see an opening in the back. Because all their spear are coming towards us, they have way too many archer units. Ooh, careful. Hidden spears. Alright, they left the young exposed in a sense. And we're gonna go get them. 1 general on each. Remember, range units don't fight back. So just have a general chase 1 each and chase them away from the crowd. And we'll be able to kill about 3 of these rather quickly. As long as the spear don't charge us, if the spear catches us, we want to get out and just move around, chase him again this way, as long as we don't charge. Okay, I feel like it's a little too close to be safe. There's easier targets out here. And we can go a little faster, because you guys understand the idea now. As we chase each until they turn white, and then we don't want to waste any more time or energy here, as we are on clock. They're done. That one's done. This one's done. Reset. Now our generals are tired. You know, we've been killing way too much. But basically, if we see openings like this, get them close and then charge, or else they will react. And you want to approach from different directions to make sure they can't have an easy way to line up to protect their units. And even if the archers are not available, actually let's go this way. We can maybe attract like 1 spear unit to charge out at us, and that's the one we can try to kill. It's always dangerous to go into forest, just try to go around it. Alright, are they thinking about charging us? AI is rather indecisive here. Alright, we got 1 taker here. No? He thought about it. Come on, someone charge us. I don't like what's going on here. There's only 2 more range units. If we can kill those 2, we can send the rest of the army up. Matter of fact, let's get started because it's actually quite long distance. Oh, no, the generals don't go there. That's fine. We'll recommand them. I selected everything by accident, but we just want them over. I can't get through this. I want to go to the back. Oh, we might be able to do this. Yeah, chase it away. Oh, we got one. We got one. Keep chasing, keep chasing. We're clearly tired. Like, we're not even moving as fast as before. Oh, they bumped us. Get out, get out. Ooh, we got here too fast because we're cavalry. Move back a little. That's why I want to kill the range first. Come on, turn white. Or turn clear. There we go. Because our units have shown up, they're facing the units now. But once we get close, they will look weird too. I can smack him a couple... not now. Wait, are we getting charged? Oh, I see a possible here. He's getting lost. Move. Get him. We lost 1 cavalry here. It's okay. We're going to disband those anyways. Alright, we're done. All the range are killed. So now phase 2. Let me show you one of the most classic strategies. Oh, they're not moving. They're moving slow because they can't run. The most classic strategy in Total War 3 Kingdom is something called Hammer and Anvil. And it works really well with enemies charging at you, but it can also work when we're charging at them. What you want to do is you want to have a very strong melee line. That's your Anvil, and they will clash with the enemy melee line. And once they do, your cavalry or the hammer will flank around and smash into your own Anvil, killing anything in between. And that's what we're going to do here with setting up this offensive maneuver here. Usually it's a defensive one. Usually the enemy charging you, you have a strong line. Hold on, we can trick this one. Yeah, you trying to run now? Well, they turn around. Gotta wiggle with them. Once you know they're not braced, then you go for it. I might as well give everyone a boost here as we are gonna fight. There we go. Alright, so we're setting up for a clash here as long as they're coming for us. They're not even interested in us at this point, but this one's kind of blocking us. Alright, I want to favor slightly. Okay, they're coming. We're going to move back a little. Buy us a little time. He lost his mount. You see in that clash, because we weren't paying attention, he lost his mount. And now he's slightly useless because he lost speed. Alright, are we going to get ready? We're not going to get ready, are we? Alright, might as well charge them. So the Anvil has formed. And now it's time to slam the hammer down, as we can see what happens when we do that. They're engaged in the front, so they can't be braced. And we absolutely just wipe them with a charge. And you see the morale shock, the damage. And the hammer comes down, and they will reset the hammer. Send them over to build us another charging platform. And we slam down over here. And we wipe another unit with a morale shock on the cavalry charge and the damage that follows up. and then reset. Oh, whoa. I was not paying attention to the fight over here. But they will be fine. And reset on the next group. And we crash right into them again. This is also called cycle charging. But the main idea here is you offer some sort of melee in the front to keep them occupied, and you charge from the flank. And you don't want to get them engaged in battle too long. That's not the purpose of your cavalry. Reset. Set up. And charge. And you see how much damage we do here. Reset. And charge. They already wiped their job over here. And now all that's left is 2 generals, which we will use our 2 generals with horses to smash them a few times so they rout. Now they're not done here yet. We can have them go charge and help, because apparently we're losing to some Z militias. Oh, that's the captain unit. That makes sense. That's why they didn't rout after the first charge. Now we didn't get exactly a good flanking charge, but at least we can come here and help. Yeah, this one might be a tough one. This is the garrison captain. We lost one of the cavalry. That's okay. That's one we're going to disband anyways. And one of them came back. Did he get dismounted too? Yeah, in the chaos of the battle, 2 of our general got dismounted. That's why you have to micro. Alright, we're done here with this. Don't have to chase. General's going to retreat because of army loss. Yep. And we won. And we don't have to chase anyone down. And Huangman's going to die if we don't capture him, because he gets garrison wiped. And hopefully we capture him. So let's see what happens. And this was deemed a close victory, which I know sounds ridiculous, but the game is really weird in this aspect where the victory rating is often very, very weird. So let's just accept it. It's fine. We know we did pretty well. We did lose quite a few men, so I do agree that it wasn't clean, but let's end battle here. Alrighty, so here we are. We got actually a Pyrrhic victory here, so the rating is even less because we lost 125 men. Now the problem with having this lower rating is our capture chance going to decrease, because remember, capture chance is based on your victory condition. Now he didn't die, which is great news, and he has died because of garrison wipe, which is what we talked about not ending your turn inside a garrison because it risks of this being happening. We are going to pick Occupy here, and if we take a look at this screen here, it means we didn't capture him, or else it would pop up before the selection. He's still on the map. He has lost 1 battle this turn. If we go fight him immediately, which we can't because we just took a settlement, he will be wiped at that point. So we don't want to fight him consecutively. You want to give him 1 turn cooldown to get a chance to capture him maybe next turn. But we achieved what we came out to do. We captured a level 2 livestock farm, which we can upgrade because it's part of a different commandery. 1 building slot per commandery unless you're over 1 million population. We have something being built here. If we want to build it here, we definitely can, and it will cost us this much for 4 turns. We can wait until we get your economy grow pop next turn when this construction is finished. So we're pretty much wrapped up with this guide here. There's a few more things we have to do in terms of touch up. 1, notice on the notification on the left, we gained an item, but here not actually an item, but something called a title. So titles are titles you can grant to your generals who are not your faction leader. It's under their background title. It's a seal. When you open it, you have a list of different titles, some of which you can unlock based on certain conditions. For example, Blood Dragon requires 1 of your generals to personally kill 600 or more soldiers in 1 battle. If we do that, we unlock this title, which we can give to a character. This title will cost you 200 additional salary per turn. It will give the character 15 points of instinct, reduce their penalty for desire for higher office, and cause terror. So these are good bonuses, but it will cost you a bit extra. And each category of these bonuses will do something different. There's actually a guide on the channel about titles, so if you're curious, go check that out. But in particular, there are titles for administrators, there's title for battles, there's titles for different roles. You can just check these out, which bonus you want. You can check out what the unlock conditions are. I actually don't recommend you using titles early on just because of salary hit, unless you have a character with low satisfaction. The main usage of titles is to manage satisfaction, as every single one of them have some component that either increases satisfaction or reduce desire for higher office, which does the same thing. So in essence, that's their main purpose. The extra stat boost just gives each one a certain flavor, a certain use. Alright, we won the battle. We saw that we got that. We also see that we have developed a friendship between Xiahou Yuan and Cao Cao. That's because they fought a battle side by side and they won. And that's also because they are harmonized characters. So that helped, or else we wouldn't get this. We also see that we killed in battle, Huang Wan has died. So those are a few notifications that we got from that fight. And we see these 2 units got wiped, and it has a 2-turn timer on them. That means they're wounded for 2 turns. After 2 turns, they will return as a fresh unit, a fresh recruit that starts out at 7 once again, and they will have mustering bonus if you do not move that army on the position that they were at after 2 turns. During these 2 turns, they will not cost you anything. If you take a look at unit upkeep, Xiahou Yuan currently says 374, I know, but it's not true. If they're wounded and like this, they don't actually cost you anything. So they're technically free at this point. So you could keep them if you want, and they'll be down for 2 turns. But if you want to use them right away, you can definitely consider disbanding and recruiting new ones. It will just cost you a lot of money. In this case, I believe the best decision here is to just let them be wounded for 2 turns. They'll come back and you don't have to spend recruitment money again, and it will save you money. So getting them killed was actually part of the plan. And now we can save money for the next 2 turns and still have these wonderful units, which are shock cavalries, and you can see how powerful that hammer and anvil tactic is, so we can utilize that in the future. And the rest of the army will take a few turns to heal up as well, 3 to 4 turns, and generals 2 turns, 1 turn, 1 turn. So they don't need time to go back. If, let's say, Xiahou Yuan was extremely injured to the point where it requires him 6 turns, because think about it, if he's at 10% health and he's healing 15% each turn, 6 turns is 90%, that's a long time for the general to heal up. And in that case, I might just disband the unit and then put him back using the recall option, and then summon him back next turn and he'll be fully healed, which is something we talked about earlier. Now, what am I going to do next? Well, we're preparing for a future war with Tao Qian. Currently, we have a buffer zone in between us. This is his territory. If he stays nearby, I might go try to capture him next turn. So if anything, I don't want to end turn inside a garrison. I will move my army out, and we'll just wait here and see if we can capture him next turn. And aside from that, should we build this? My argument's no, because we know that with this mission coming up, your economy growth will activate, and we will build this faster and cheaper if we use this bonus. So all we're waiting for is this building to complete inside Suiyang, which is where it is. And once it finishes, we'll get that bonus. We already have the Simon ready, so everything is ready to go for a burst of economic development, which is the goal of our next episode. So let's end turn here, and we'll continue and see what happens in between the turns. As you can see, mission success. We finished building a building, and we got ourselves your economy grows for the next 3 turns, which is going to be entirely focused on growing our, small empire right now. And we get the next mission as well. Want us to recruit and maintain a total of 8 units at the start of a new turn. Currently, we have 6. Units are basically each unit card. And before we can talk about it, we have our story mission. And this is what we talked about since the start of the game. The death of Cao Song, our father. Word has reached you that your beloved father Cao Song has been ambushed and murdered by the vile Tao Qian. There will be time for grieving later, but for now your advisors are calling for you to act. And we have 2 options in front of us. 1, follow the story, crush them. And this may be seen as act of treachery. What this means is if you had any sort of deal with him, this is a war declaration. So if we had a non-aggression pact with him, we would gain treachery, as in non-trustworthiness. And then the result is we declare war with each other, Cao Cao is killed. Or we can bide our time. Cao Cao is killed, and we gain 80 points of diplomatic relationship with Tao Qian. So both choices are up to the player. This is a historical game, but also a sandbox game. So you have the option of what you want to do here. For me, I would like to wipe out Tao Qian quite early. So I'm going to follow the story, and we're going to crush him. And that's our choice. And we have declared war. As you can see, all this turned red, and we're going to have to fight them. This army didn't move very far, but we can't get to there because of a thing called rivers. These small rivers on the map takes 1 turn to cross. Or if there's bridges, you can bypass them, but it leads into a city. So they're pretty much out of reach. We don't have to really think about capturing him. It's just not possible. He marched his way across the river, and now he's free to go. We'll get another shot at him later on. Now we're obviously going to turn our focus to this warhead, but we're going to try to do it with a minimum army, and we're going to talk about that later. We're done with this episode now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle and the hammer and envoy tactic. And next part, we'll be shifting our attention back to some civil matters, as we will take full advantage of your economy grows, talk about how to rush building constructions, talk about planning out for reforms, because we're about to get a reform, and how to utilize that together to get ourselves our first administrator. So hopefully guys, you guys enjoyed this one, and see you guys then. Bye!